The boy who was told no. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up every single day at 4 am. The sky is still dark. Your hands are already rough from yesterday's work. Your family's home has a leaking roof, and the only light inside comes from a single kerosene lamp. This was the life of Arjun Mehta, a farmer's son from a small village in Rajasthan, India. And yet, today's, today Arjun's journey is known across the world. Today, Arjun, he runs a company that employs over 10,000 people. But the journey will change how you see your own struggles forever. When Arjun was 12 years old, he found a torn magazine page blowing in the wind near his village school. On it was a photograph of a tall glass building, glittering under the sun. The caption read, "The future of business in India." He kept that page, he folded it carefully and tucked it inside the textbook. Every night, by the light of that kerosene lamp, he would look at that photo and whisper to himself, one day I will build something like this. But life had other ideas. When Arjun turned 15, his father fell seriously ill. The medical bills were devastating. The family had no savings. His older brother had already dropped out of school to work in the field. Arjun was told it was his turn. His teacher, Mr. Sharma, came to their home. He sat across from Arjun's father and said, "The boy is special. Please let him continue studying." His father looked down at his cracked, soil stained hand and said quietly, "We have no money for dreams." That night, Arjun made a decision. He would work in the fields from 4 am to 8 am before school. He would study from 9 am to 4 pm. Then he would return to the fields until sunset. And after dinner, he would open his books again by lamplight until midnight. 6 hours of sleep every single day for 3 years. He did this without stopping. His friends laughed at him. "Why are you torturing yourself?" they asked. "Boys like us don't become businessmen. We grow crops, that's a fate." Arjun never argued with them. He just went back to his books. When he was 18, he scored among the top students in his state exams. He won a partial scholarship to college in Jaipur, but it still wasn't enough. The remaining fees were more than his family earned in a year. He applied for every loan he could find. He wrote 53 letters to different organizations asking for help. 49 of them said no. 3 never replied, but one said yes. A small NGO granted him a loan of 20,000 rupees, barely enough, with the condition that he must repay it within 5 years. Arjun signed the paper with shaking hands and tears in his eyes. He was going to college. The college was nothing like Arjun imagined. His classmates came from wealthy families. They wore branded shoes, they carried the latest phones, they spoke English with confidence. Arjun spoke slowly, wore clothes from a second hand market, and ate one full meal a day to save money. In his first week, a group of students mocked his village accent during a class presentation. The room went quiet. Arjun felt his face burn with shame. He walked out of that classroom. He sat under a tree in the college courtyard, and for the first time in years, he cried. He thought about going home, about the fields, about how maybe everyone was right. Maybe boys like him didn't belong here. Then he reached into his bag. He pulled out that same torn magazine page, now yellowed and worn from years of folding and unfolding. He looked at the photograph of that glittering building and he wiped his tears. He walked back into the classroom. He sat down. He opened his notebook and he never looked back. Arjun graduated top of his class. He started a small He understood what they needed because he had needed it himself. The first year he had 12 years, the second year 1200. But the fifth year, over 4 million farmers across India were using his platform. He repaid the NGO loan in 3 years and then donated 10 times that amount back to them. He built a school in his village. He named it after his father, Mr. Sharma. And on the day the school opened, Arjun's father, now recovered and healthy, stood in the front row. His eyes were full of tears. He looked at his son and said just 4 words: "You made us proud." Here is what I want you to take away from this story today. Your background is not your destiny. Where you start does not determine where you finish. Your struggles are not signs that you should stop, they are proof that you are growing. Every rejection is a redirection. Every no is preparing you for a greater yes. And when the world tells you that you have no money for dreams, remember, dreams are the one thing that no one can take from you. They live inside you, they survive the darkest nights. All you have to do is refuse to let them die. So, wherever you are right now, whether you are struggling in silence, whether you feel invisible, whether you have been told you are not enough, you are enough. You have always been enough. Now go prove it to